Susan's wide eyes were fixed on the store manager, her disbelief palpable. When a man truly cares about a woman, the manager began with a knowing smile, he'll be possessive. He wouldn't want her to dress provocatively. He'd want to be the only one to see her like that. She added with a grin, I've been working here for years. I've met countless men. I can read them well. The words ignited a flicker of hope in Susan's heart. Could it be? Did Ethan ask me to change because he didn't want anyone else to see me like that? The thought sent a wave of warmth through her chest, melting her earlier glumness. A shy smile played on her lips as she carried the possibility with her, while changing into a long, elegant white dress. Descending the stairs, Susan was greeted by an unexpected sight. Ethan, leaning against the wall, a cigarette between his fingers. She froze for a moment. He rarely smoked. In fact, this was the first time she had ever seen him do so. The soft glow of the cigarette highlighted the sharp planes of his face, making him look even more magnetic. Does anything this man does not look utterly captivating? She thought, her gaze softening as her heart thudded in her chest. Gathering herself, she approached him and tugged at his sleeve gently. Hubby, is this dress okay? Ethan glanced at her, his expression unreadable. The conservative yet graceful dress accentuated her beauty without being revealing. For a fleeting moment, a pang of regret pierced him. Why did I bring her out tonight? He thought bitterly. I should have kept her out of sight. Without a word, he stubbed the cigarette into the ashtray, gesturing curtly. Let's go. Susan followed him hesitantly, lifting the hem of her dress to avoid tripping. Ethan turned to check on her progress and frowned deeply at her slow pace. Without a second thought, he closed the distance between them, his hands slipping around her waist as he lifted her effortlessly into his arms. Her hands instinctively clasped around his neck, her gaze darting into his face. Ethan's sharp jawline and steady expression were mesmerizing up close. The words left her lips before she could stop them. You didn't let me wear the aqua dress earlier because you didn't want me to dress provocatively, right? Is it because you care about me? The question hung in the air, heavy and unspoken. Ethan paused, his eyes narrowing as he looked down at her. His dark gaze held a flicker of amusement, and a faint smile curved one corner of his lips. You must have drunk too much during the day. You've clearly gone insane. Heat still burning on her cheeks, Susan bit her tongue, choosing not to engage with Ethan's sarcastic remark. Technically, you're my wife, after all, Ethan had said with a scoff as he settled her in the back seat. I don't want you dressing indecently and being mocked. Her frustration simmered during the drive, the weight of his words pressing on her chest. The Kelly family manor loomed ahead, vibrant and bustling with activity. The parking lot gleamed with rows of high-end cars, each a testament to the wealth of the guests inside. Susan's eyes scanned the scene eagerly, hoping to spot the Drew or Smith family vehicles. If Jacob is here, she thought gleefully, he'll be stunned to see me holding his cousin's arm. With that thought, she stepped out of the car, linking her arm through Ethan's. The warmth of his presence steadied her nerves. Ethan glanced down at her, his voice low and pointed. Tonight, you can publicly claim that you're my girlfriend. Susan's heart skipped a beat, her eyes lit up. But before she could revel at the moment, his tone turned flat. Don't get too excited. I'm only doing this to stop old Master Kelly from introducing me to potential marriage partners.
Her enthusiasm deflated like a popped balloon. So, I'm just a shield, she thought sourly. Fine, she sighed dramatically. I'm willing to shelter you from all sorts of harm and support you regardless. She was mid-performance when an elegant figure glided toward them, interrupting her. The woman wore a champagne-colored gown that hugged her delicate frame perfectly. Her hair was styled in loose waves, and her expression was a blend of elegance and warmth. Susan instantly recognized her. Angela Kelly, the little princess of the Kelly family, and Daniel's younger sister. Susan had only seen her once before at a dinner, but remembered her striking presence vividly. Angela's gaze was fixed solely on Ethan, her lips curving into a tender smile as she approached. Ethan, Angela said, her voice soft and melodic. "It's been such a long time." Susan stiffened, watching as Angela ignored her completely. Angela's eyes sparkled with a mix of affection and reproach. "You've been in California for so long, and yet you didn't come to see me. Don't you remember? You promised to watch my violin performance. You still owe me that, Ethan." Susan's grip tightened on Ethan's arm as envy bubbled to the surface. She bit back the urge to roll her eyes. "What promise?" Angela's gaze never wavered from Ethan, as though Susan didn't even exist. Susan cleared her throat loudly, breaking the moment. "Hubby," she said sweetly, her tone dripping with mock innocence. "Won't you introduce me? She's—" Angela's eyes flickered toward Susan for the first time, her expression cool and dismissive. Ethan's smirk deepened as he glanced between the two women. The subtle tension in the air was palpable, and he had no intention of intervening just yet. Susan tightened her grip on Ethan's arm, tilting her head with a ladylike expression of affection. Her tone dripped with sweetness, but her eyes gleamed with determination. Ethan's voice carried a tinge of mockery as he introduced Angela. "Daniel's sister." Angela's expression darkened. "Who's she? Why is she addressing you so intimately?" Susan's lips curled into a confident smile, clearly unfazed. "Hi, Miss Kelly. I'm his girlfriend. You might not have seen me before, but I'm sure you've heard of me. Susan Drew, the most beautiful woman among the elites in California." Ethan's mouth twitched, his amusement barely contained. Angela's eyes widened, disbelief flashing across her face. It quickly twisted into disdain. "The most beautiful woman?" "Sorry, I've never heard that. But I have heard about the recent antics of Susan Drew from the Drew family." Her voice turned sharp, each word like a dagger. "The one who lost to her rural-born sister over the Drew inheritance and got kicked out of the family? Ethan would never stoop so low as to date someone so foolish." Susan's heart clenched painfully, the insult cutting deeper than she wanted to admit. She hesitated, her usual confidence faltering. "Angie." Ethan's voice turned icy, his dark eyes narrowing. "Behave yourself. She's my girlfriend." Angela froze, her complexion paling visibly. "How's that possible? She doesn't even match your noble status." Susan, regaining her composure, tilted her chin defiantly. "Why don't I match him? I'm beautiful, and when we stand together, we complement each other perfectly. Our future children are sure to be stunningly attractive." Angela's lips twitched in annoyance, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Please, your genes would lower the IQ of your descendants." The two women's bickering gave Ethan a visible headache. He rubbed his forehead and let out a sigh.
"Enough, Angie," he said firmly, cutting through the tension. "I'm going to pay my respects to your grandpa now. You're welcome to stay here and entertain yourself." Before Angela could respond, Ethan turned and walked toward the main building, his hand resting lightly on Susan's back as he guided her along. Susan puffed out her cheeks in frustration, her silence speaking volumes as they strolled. Ethan glanced down at her, noticing how her recent healthy lifestyle had given her cheeks a soft, chubby roundness. Her quiet pout made her look almost childlike, adorably so. His lips curved ever so slightly, but he said nothing, letting the moment settle between them. As they approached the main building, Ethan's hand lingered lightly on Susan's back, guiding her forward. He couldn't help but reach out and pinch her puffed cheeks, which still bore the remnants of her sulky pout. Angie is still young. He said in a calm, soothing tone. She's been pampered all her life. Don't lower yourself to her level. Susan froze, her irritation flaring hotter than before. Her mind screamed in protest. Pampered? You're defending her now? Her smile turned sharp as she chuckled dryly. Don't worry, I won't stoop to Angie's level. Ethan raised an eyebrow, sensing the storm in her tone. Does that mean you're still annoyed? Her eyes glinted mischievously. Since you're so close to her, why didn't you ask her to play your fake girlfriend tonight? After all, you call her Angie. I'm just the sitter, remember? Not even Susan or Rin. Ethan paused mid-step, his gaze narrowing slightly. So this is all because I called her Angie and not you by name? Of course not. Susan snapped back with a fake, overly sweet smile. Do I seem like the petty type to you? Ethan let out a resigned sigh. Angela played with Daniel and me at the back of the manor when we were kids. I treat her like a little sister, that's all. His voice carried a subtle note of explanation, something Susan wasn't expecting. For a brief moment, she was stunned, her annoyance dampened by the realization that he felt the need to clarify himself. By then, they had reached the grand hall of the main building. A crowd of elegantly dressed guests milled about, and at the center of it all stood old Master Kelly, resplendent in a sharp suit. Despite his age, he radiated energy and authority. Ethan, you rascal, you finally came to see me after all this time in California? Old Master Kelly's voice boomed across the hall, drawing heads to turn. How absurd. Are you holding me in contempt because I'm old? Ethan approached smoothly, his demeanor warm but composed. Absolutely not, old Master Kelly. You're looking younger than ever. He handed over a beautifully wrapped gift, which the old man accepted with a hearty chuckle. Old Master Kelly's sharp eyes darted toward Susan, assessing her with genuine curiosity. Before she could grow self-conscious, Ethan introduced her effortlessly. This is my girlfriend. Susan felt the heat rush to her cheeks, though she managed to maintain a polite smile as she nodded in greeting. The old man's face lit up with delight. Ah, so you finally found someone. That's sad, though. I had plans to set you up with someone from California's elite. There are so many wonderful women here, you know. He handed Susan a small, beautifully wrapped box, his expression softening. Here, young lady, a gift for you since it's our first meeting. And please take care of this rascal. Hubby has suffered a lot in life, even if he won't admit it. Susan's hands trembled slightly as she accepted the gift, her emotions swirling. She glanced at Ethan, whose expression remained unreadable, though his eyes softened briefly as they met hers. Thank you, old Master Kelly. I'll do my best to take care of him. Her voice was soft, but her words carried a weight of sincerity that even surprised her. Ethan's lips curved ever so slightly, a flicker of approval in his gaze.
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.